Did you watch that clip I sent you?
Of the caterpillar cakes. I did. I loved it. It was so random. Please share the details.
So if you haven't seen it, I keep thinking his name is Michael Bolton, but I don't think that's who he is.
It's Michael Barrymore, right? I think.
Barrymore, yeah.
Wait, tell me, how viral has this gone? Because I've only seen it from you. I haven't seen it show up on my own feed.
This video, if you haven't seen it, it's Michael Bolton, Michael Barrymore reviewing caterpillar cakes. And it's gone so viral that the BBC did an article about the dangers of the implications of what he did in this video. So
what?
If you haven't seen it, it's so funny. It's him sitting in his car and he's like, okay, like I got these 5 caterpillar cakes. I'm going to see which one is the best.
He's rating all the caterpillar cakes from the various supermarkets.
And you think, oh yeah, he's going to have a little, he has the 5 caterpillar cakes. The next scene is probably going to be him in his kitchen cutting up the caterpillar cakes and he's going to have a slice. No. Yeah. He stays in the car, eats these 5 caterpillar cakes whole.
But the way he bites into it like a baguette, he just like 2 hands, caterpillar, hum.
And he's like, oh, at one point he's going to put it down. Now, sure, he put half of it down in the space of it and did little videos, but when he eats it looks like he's eating all 5 caterpillar cakes.
Yeah.
The whole through. In one of them, he eats it, he starts from the middle and eats it like, I don't know, like if you were holding a hot dog and you just bit into it from the center and went left to right.
Or a watermelon. Yeah, like a watermelon. Like. Or a corn on the cob.
That's exactly how he eats it, like a corn on the cob. But a full corn on the cob.
Not like a caterpillar cake.
And then he just reaches over the steering wheel and just like, that's a bit dry, I need a cup of tea. And just like has a little sip of his tea that he somehow has.
That was my favourite bit. The cup of tea.
And then he reviews it. And it's so funny. All the comments, I think, is what makes it so gas.
Oh, go on. I didn't go deep.
They're like, I was just scrolling. Never did I think he was going to eat 5 entire caterpillar cakes. Like, at what point is he going to stop? That's like 10,000 calories. As in, no, just wrap their heads around it. But it went so viral. It's such a funny thing to see. But the BBC then did an article about it because in one of the clips, he's wearing his Meta glasses. And and he's like filming him in the supermarket buying the caterpillar cakes and people recognize him and they're chatting to him and they're all in the video. And he's like, oh, I'm filming it on my Meta glasses. And it's like, oh, is that?
Oh. So what did the BBC have to say about that?
They were saying it's highlighting that, you know, that shouldn't be so easy to do and that you shouldn't be able to film people without their knowledge and consent and then put it up on the internet.
Oh, 100%. Like, so scary to think that there are people out there walking around with cameras recording constantly on their glasses. I'm not going to be able to trust people with glasses anymore.
Ugh, 4 eyes, get out of here. But there is also a part 2 to the caterpillar cake phenomenon. So I would go and have a little stalk. It will make you laugh.
Is it more cakes? Is he trying more caterpillars? Because there's many more supermarkets with caterpillar cakes. Also, he needs to come to Ireland because Super Value have one. I don't think Dunn's do.
Surely they do.
You can continue.
You could travel around the world eating caterpillar cakes.
Delicious. Hello and welcome to Let Me Ask My Sister, the podcast where we overthink life so you don't have to. We're your hosts, Aoife and
Sergars, the pull up a seat siblings, and let me ask you this.
I have been getting just swamps of videos of, I think it's calisthenics that I'm getting pushed to do at the moment. Are you also seeing this?
Yes, the AI fitness influencers with their 8-pack abs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting hit with this like a motherfucker. Just give me 6 weeks. You will be unrecognizable to your friends.
Yeah. By week 1, you'll feel stronger. Week 2, you'll look stronger. And all I need is 15 minutes every morning. Bullshit. Oh. You don't need 15 minutes every morning.
Also, like I'm big into Pilates. I think calisthenics are so great. 100%. Whatever you do to move your body that you enjoy is amazing. But if you want to transform your body, you need to grow muscle and lose
Yeah,
fat. Unless you're really thin, you're not going to see the results from your little Pilates workout. You'll feel the burn, but you're not gonna, and you'll improve your muscle, don't get me wrong, but you're not gonna see that insane muscle and there's that amazing definition unless you're so thin to show it.
exactly. I think even if you're so thin and if you're not eating enough protein, you're not going to see the difference. There's nothing is a quick fix to get lean muscle definition, but it's just, I don't know why it's pissing me off so much. And for some reason, so there's one ad that I keep seeing that it just really annoys me. So it's this like stunning looking woman doing some sort of Pilates routine on the mat in what looks like her living room. And then what I assume to be her partner walks in and he's dressed for work in his suit and he walks in on his phone and he's kind of doing work on his phone and then he looks at her on the mat. And for some reason, this just really pisses me off.
What
Have
is
you
it
seen
like?
that one?
I make the money and you keep it tight, like that kind
That's
of.
kind of that's
Oh,
kind of what I'm picking up when I see it. Just bleh.
gross.
Have you seen it? Because that's the one that I get in my stories daily.
I don't get that one. I never get one of, it's always just women. Although it did think I was a man for a good portion of time because
Oh, really?
so honestly, I've noticed this since we got engaged. As soon as we got engaged and my feed became a little bit more wedding focused, I was getting targeted constantly with how to build your bridal body, how to drop a dress size ahead of your wedding, all this kind of stuff.
Jeez.
Yeah, a lot of stuff for injections, facials, everything. This whole bridal glow up is real. Getting a nose job,
Yeah.
Invisalign,
Stop.
anything to the sun, I'm getting targeted. So
Jesus. A nose job. That feels extreme for your wedding, you know?
well,
Like
sorry, it's not a technically a, sorry, it's a non-surgical one. It's an injection that basically reduces the cartilage, not it's surely not the cartilage, but some sort of fluid that's
yeah.
in your nose. Even though you have a little bump, it can get rid of that just to make it flat. And it
Oh my
lasts
God.
for
I
a
remember
couple of weeks.
seeing that on MTV years ago.
No
Like,
way. Yeah.
yeah. Back when
Oh,
I was living in like our parents' house, I remember seeing this like when obviously talking about getting plastic surgery was all the rage. It was this new thing, yeah, to shape your nose. And what you had to do is, I think, actually now it's making me think about lux maxing because is this not what it kind of is? That it was like something that you'd inject into your nose and then you'd have to like scrape push down your nose because isn't that what they do? They're like chiseling at their muscles and whatever with the little hammers.
um, yes.
Unsure? Yes.
I think well, looks maxing to the extreme is them, yeah, literally breaking muscles and all that kind of jazz.
Sorry,
Where
breaking bones,
breaking
isn't
bones,
it?
yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
think. But I've been getting targeted with all those types of crap as soon as
Yes.
I engaged. And then
Yeah.
for a little bit, a couple of weeks ago, it thought I was a man, and it was like, "Hey, brother, just give me same tagline, just give me 6 weeks of your time. You will look ripped, you will look jacked." And it was these massive, massive men doing
No
these
way.
workouts. But now I think I'm a woman again, so I'm getting the
Oh,
tiny thin ladies with their 8 pack
that's
abs.
so funny. Did it get confused? Maybe did your phones swap places or something and you were getting Tim's? Because so Owen was saying, so he gets these Tai Chi ads constantly. And it's these old lads that are ripped. And they say, just do Tai Chi for 15 minutes every day. And it's like Tai Chi from your chair kind of thing. He's like, why am I getting elderly men doing like jacked elderly men doing Tai Chi?
I think maybe he needs to look at what he's interested in online because obviously they
Well,
think 65.
that's well, that's what I said. I was like, obviously he behaved like an elderly man online. Because then also I was with Dad, and Dad showed me some Tai Chi thing he had been doing.
Oh, you
Oh
marry your father.
no, please don't put that in. Hey girls, one of your OG listeners here.
Hi.
My older sister. Hi! My older sister sent this into our sister's group chat early days, and we've been loyal listeners every week. We love
Aw,
discussing what you've unpacked each week and picking our sides. Lol.
love you guys.
Love you guys. Sorry. Do you do this? Maybe I'll put a pin in this. No, I'll do it now.
No.
Okay, I saw this thing. I saw a post, and I've seen a few of them of the same ilk, saying, "Oh, dear millennials, you're safe. You don't have to say lol at the end of a sentence." There's all these millennials responding saying, "I saw the Twin Towers crash during algebra class. I'll never be safe. Lol." And then it's like a million other examples. But I fully agree. We need a lol at the end of a sentence.
Our aunt thinks law means lots of love. And I
Who?
remember Auntie Scylla.
Oh.
And I remember when someone I knew died, and she sent me a message to say, "I'm so sorry to hear about your friend. LOL."
God.
It's like, hilarious.
So sorry to hear about your friend. Lol. Oh, God.
Made me laugh.
We're just trying to keep it light. Lol.
Sorry, listener email, listener email.
Sorry. Anyway. Okay. Honestly, I'm not looking for advice here. I just want to know that I'm not the only one. Kindly discuss. I'm going away with 3 of the girls later this summer. I'm so looking forward to this break. We've booked. I sound like a robot. I'm going
I'm
away with
so
3 of
looking
the girls.
forward to this break.
I'm so looking forward to this break. We've booked an absolutely lush hotel, and the plan is to lounge out by the pool, eating and drinking our way through Spain. Yes, girls, get it. That sounds like a dream. I had a baby a year ago, and I feel like I haven't fully bounced back. Nope, we don't say that. We were lucky enough to get pregnant pretty quickly after we got married, and I figured that since I worked so hard on my body in the lead up to the wedding, I would be back to myself by now. Out of the 4 of us girls, 2 of us have had babies, and the other 2 don't. My non-parent girlies are total gym rats and always look amazing, and my fellow baby mama's kid is a bit older than mine, so I feel like she must be past this postpartum body hell. Like I said, I'm not really looking for advice here, but I don't feel like I hear enough people chatting about it. Surely I'm not alone in this, or does everyone else love their postpartum body? Thanks. Short answer, no. I don't think anyone. I think most people struggle with their postpartum body. It's so hard.
That breaks my heart a little bit. Like,
Oh,
yeah. I'm not looking for advice, but I just, am I alone? Like she said, she sounds like she feels rubbish.
yeah. I mean, take away the postpartum part of it. I think we all struggle with our bodies.
Oh, 1000%. And there's also something where we're like, oh, I have this event coming up. You know what? I'm going to tone up for this thing. Or maybe people don't think like this. I don't know. But I've always thought about this my entire life. By this date,
Yeah.
by this event, I'll have abs. By this thing, I'll lose this fat.
Yeah.
I'll tone up here. I'll tone up there. And then you get to that
Yeah.
date. And if you haven't achieved it, you feel a little bit like a failure.
Yeah. Or just like, I feel like because I've been doing this to myself now, it's every summer. I'm thinking, oh, this summer I'm gonna have the toned legs for the shorts. This summer, this summer, this summer, and I never do. And spoiler alert, I haven't now. And yeah, I feel like I don't feel like I've failed anymore. I've just accepted it. Have I?
Good.
Maybe not. How, no, do you know what? That's a big fat lie. Why would I say that? Like I think everyone struggles with their body, postpartum or not. But postpartum is a whole other ballgame. Like it's really difficult. Your entire body has changed. And then you're trying to feel so grateful because your body has done an amazing thing. You have grown an entire human and potentially fed them from your body as well, if you've breastfed or not, or either way, you've grown an entire human inside your body and birthed them and have taken care of them for a year, and it's really hard on your body. Then also, not to mention, after you've had the baby, you don't just go back to normal life. You're run ragged trying to look after it, and then also barely getting any sleep. So it's really hard to go back and do the things that you used to love to do and find time to go to the gym when really you're knackered and you just want to sit on the couch and eat some chocolate. And that's okay.
And the lack of sleep. Surely your body needs that sleep to recover anyway, to build that muscle, to do all those things. So Even if you
Yeah.
were running around doing all the things with your baby, even if you managed it, your body still isn't going to react the way it would have before. Surely.
Totally. Well, sure, your body's trying to repair itself and recover. I remember reading something ages ago, saying that your body doesn't fully recover from having a baby for 2 years, and you're only halfway there. So,
Whoa.
you're good.
I hate that phrase bounce back.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to bounce. Why do you need to bounce back from doing anything? You've bounced back. You had a child. Like there's nothing to bounce back from.
Yeah, I've heard it. I've heard people talk about this online actually and saying why we say bounce back, we should be saying bounce forward or bouncing into. Like you should be trying to bounce into, your mom bod or whatever. But
Mm.
I suppose the media isn't going to have us believe that that's a good thing.
I know our listener isn't looking for advice, and I feel like as if you're going to take advice from anyone, like do let it be Aoife, not me, because you've had the children and I haven't. But I would love to know a little bit more about kind of where her thought process is here, because beforehand you said I worked so hard on my body before the baby. Like in the back of your mind, did you have it as, well, I'll be fine because I've done this? Did you think that you were kind of preparing for this part after it? Because if you have been, I think this might go a little bit deeper, perhaps. Like maybe there
Yeah.
has like body image kind of been a part of your life forever. What am I saying? Of course it has for women. But
I was just going to totally jump in there and agree with you. I mean, you can't be a woman in your 30s, in your 20s or 30s or 40s
uh,
and and have it not be such a big part of your life.
it's just impossible. There's just with the pressure from media, like what we were saying earlier on as well about the bloody AI targeted ads and all this stuff that we're
Yeah.
seeing up left, right, and center. It's just absolutely everywhere. And I can't imagine what it's like. Obviously, being postpartum, you're going on holidays now. You have your one friend who's just after having their baby he's a little bit older. So it sounds like she's saying, oh, so her body's probably a little bit further along. First of all, you don't know that. And I'm
Mm,
sure the way that you look at your friends' bodies, in maybe a little bit of a envious way or admiring sort of way, you are
mm,
looking at your body with such a critical eye that
100%.
you probably don't look the way you think you look. Do you know that's the
Yeah.
song, the wear sunscreen?
Yeah.
I love that line in it that says, "Don't read beauty magazines; they'll only make you feel ugly, and then
Yeah.
you are not as fat as you imagine." And I think
Yes.
that line is so prevalent here to remember. You're not as fat as you imagine. So when we are being so critical, maybe we can look at our hips or whatever you think your problem area is, and you focus and you're like, that's absolutely massive. And then you could see someone walk down the road that has the exact same body as you, and you'll go, oh my God,
Mm,
amazing. They look so gorgeous. I wish I could wear that top. You can absolutely wear that top, whether you're bigger, smaller, like triangle, apple, whatever your shape is. Of course you can wear that,
yeah.
look amazing. You were just being self-critical of yourself. So even if your friends, if you have this in your head that they look all these sorts of ways, your body's your body, did a fabulous thing. And
Mm,
that's what you should be proud of, is that your body and you look like you and you're amazing. And you don't need to be thin to have a beach body. A body on the beach is your beach body.
oh, Cirques, that's so lovely. And you're so right. That is honestly so lovely and so well put. I was gonna say, I bet so the friend who's had a baby who their child is older than yours, she might feel this exact same way. And she might be thinking the exact same thing as you, only, oh, she got pregnant so fast. So her body was amazing. So obviously she's recovered so much quicker than I have. She could be having this exact same thought. And then same with your friends who aren't parents yet and who are, into the gym, whatever they're doing, no doubt they feel critical and self-conscious of their bodies as well.
Mm,
I think we all do.
100%. I don't think you can.
I don't think we can escape it, especially assuming you're our age. I like to book it myself and Circa in the same age, even though we're not, but assuming you are our age.
Age me up by a decade, that's fine.
Exactly. Assuming you are our age, um, that you grew up with, the heroin chic beauty ideal of just like ultra thin models and absolute perfection. And I remember seeing Britney Spears had a spot on her forehead, and a magazine had blown it up and said, "Oh my God, Britney Spears has a zit." It's like, because like Britney Spears is the most beautiful like pop star back then. And I was like, of course she has a feckin' spot. She's a human person. Like,
And that's what I think is so interesting about like podcast clips and films and TV now, is that we have these much better quality cameras. So do you remember,
mm,
I don't really remember it in living memory, but I remember all the like I remember all the TV shows talking about it. Once HD became a thing and then TVs were in HD, it would be like, oh, look at that actress now that you see her in HD. And there was all these kind of jokes that people don't look good with
no
high
way.
def. And then now, obviously, yeah, there was one in Friends. Chandler Bing made the joke about it. I can't remember who it was. Um, and then obviously now with 4K, you're seeing everyone in more high def. And I think while obviously they're all beautiful, and maybe that's why the standards are a little bit higher. Maybe that's why there's more work getting done, all this kind of jazz,
Mm,
because it's literally a magnifying glass up to your skin. But we're seeing celebrities maybe kind of embrace that, and we're allowed to see them without flawless skin, and it's a little bit more acceptable than it was back in the day. Like if Britney had one spot, it was a huge thing.
yeah.
Do you remember when she came out and did it was before the Femme Fatale tour, but everyone was saying, or all the media was saying anyway, like, oh, she's so fat, like look at all the weight that she's put on. She is very thin. Like she doesn't have a six pack, but she's
Yeah.
thin and she's in
Well,
such good shape. And then she's just
yeah.
as fat. And it's like that is literally a regular body. And if that's what we were taught to think is
E-
fat.
Exactly that. I mean, I don't remember this specific time, the Femme Fatale tour. Maybe it's the same era. But after I remember she did the VMAs with what was that song called? It was after she'd had her two babies. What was that song called? Piece of Me.
Yes.
She did the VMAs with Piece of Me after she had her two babies, and she was torn to shreds for being quote unquote fat. And this is, the asylum where they raised us, This is what we were brought up with, saying that Bridget Jones was fat. And okay, I know you said you weren't looking for advice, but I would say try and curate your feed a little bit, because it's so easy, like exactly like we were saying. We're probably all getting targeted with a lot of these AI influencers that have eight packs that aren't real. That'll tell you that you can get this like ripped body in 6 weeks, but with 15 minutes a day. But we can curate our feeds a little bit more to show people that are maybe little bit more realistic. And two people who I love are Alex Light, and Emily Clarkson, who just talk about like the realities of filters, and how, so to your point, Sarah, that people are showing more of what they really look like. But we all have, like, people have on social media, people have filters on their faces all the time.
Of
So
course.
we're not really seeing reality.
That's so true. Even if you are seeing someone with a spot, they still have a filter over it.
Yeah. And Alex Light and Emily Clarkson are both really good for this. I remember, I think it's one of her pinned posts. Go onto Emily Clarkson's page. I think it's M_Clarkson is her Instagram handle. But I think one of her pinned posts, it certainly used to be, it was her on a beach. And it started out with, it's like full filtered. So she'd filtered face and filtered body. So she's like slimmed in at the waist. And then bit by bit, she takes it apart. And then she puts the filter on and off and on and off. And just reminding you, she's like, this is also a beach body kind of thing, which is really, really refreshing. She's fully there in a bikini, no tan, and then she's filtering the tan on and off. And I just think fair play to her. But if you curate your feed to show you a little bit more of that, you might feel a little bit better.
Yeah,
Or
that's
maybe
really.
you won't. But it can remind us in the hard times.
I think you're right though. Maybe you don't. Maybe it's not spoken about enough.
Yeah.
Especially with this, because I think we were so society went through like a weird thing there where everyone was ultra thin and then it was all body positivity. And then now it's kind of going back on itself, maybe a small bit.
Mm, yeah,
And
definitely.
we're not talking about it to the same extent. But I think you're right. You need to talk about it more. Maybe you need to talk about it more as well, like with your friends. Like maybe like bring this up.
Yeah.
We have a bit of a shame to say that because obviously your friends are going to be like, you look great, you look amazing. And of course you do. But also just chat it out. Like I actually just feel this way. And maybe
Yeah.
you need to get it off your brain so your brain can process it and move on and you can appreciate
Yeah.
it for the most amazing instrument that it is. It keeps you alive every single day. It carried your children. It does so much thinking. It's fabulous. And you just have to treat it with the respect it deserves. And if you are hating it every single day, that is just going to grow in your mind more and more and more. So while it's so difficult to do, and I need to practice what I preach, but try not to put it down because it's brilliant.
Yeah, no, so true. And, I said earlier about, you know, wearing shorts and wanting to have the muscly legs that look great in shorts. I loved that, that campaign of wear the shorts. Because I remember feeling for years so self-conscious wearing shorts, and then just thinking, I think getting to one point just being like, "Do you know what, fuck it, it's too hot, I want to wear fucking shorts." And actually I remember I was doing trica months, the first one that I did, and I was talking to one of my friends about it. I was like, "Oh, I need to get a pair of workout shorts. I never wear shorts working out. I feel self-conscious about wearing them." I was like, we had this whole chat, like exactly like Circus suggesting to do. It made me feel a lot better to talk to my friend and say that I wanted to wear shorts but felt self-conscious. And then anyway, she was saying that she had had a lazy day, and she was saying, before I wouldn't have had lunch, but today I had my lunch after my lazy day, and I even had a packet of crisps, and I felt good. And you bought the shorts and I ate the lunch, and aren't we just so proud of ourselves? And then we were like, holy shit, if this is the bar, the wearing shorts and eating lunch, the bar is on the fucking floor.
Yes.
But sometimes just having these chats and saying these things can make you feel better.
And it makes you realize how ridiculous it is to even say that.
Yes,
You should wear a pair of shorts. But I know
exactly.
exactly what you mean. It took me so long to wear it. Workout shorts are just weird things to wear. So you just feel
Yeah.
it's a weird thing. Sometimes we can just feel self conscious in it, and it's just
And they
and
ride up.
maybe it can ride up, and then workout tops. Everything can just feel exposing.
Yeah.
And there's actually another listener email similar to this, which I think would be nice to fit it in. Should I read it
Oh,
out to you?
yeah. Go on.
I don't know if
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
saw.
Yeah.
It says, "Hey ladies, after your Wimbledon episode about not feeling comfortable in your skin, I wanted to get something off my chest. I really want to go on Ozempic.
Oh.
I feel like everybody's on it. I know for sure one
Mhm.
of the girls is, and she's dropping weight so fast, and the same goes for a guy in the office. It's not something I ever would have considered. I spent years curating my Instagram feed to ignore all these gym rat, ultra fit people, just like what you were saying there, Aoife.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But in the last year or so, it seems like everyone I've followed for their fab, normal, healthy bodies are now Ozempic thin." Okay, yeah,
Oh,
whole other thing as well, isn't it?
yeah.
It's not even that I've a lot of weight to lose, but I feel like I'm bigger than I should be. So am I right to just bite the bullet and go on it, or do I need to silence that little teenage voice in my mind telling me I'm not good enough? P.S. Thank you for putting up the anonymous form. I never would have had the courage to ask this otherwise. Ah, yeah. So
Oh.
if you don't know, we do have a little anonymous form on all of our social channels. You can go in and ask a question anonymously. You don't have to have your email address or anything on there. So if you do want to ask something, but you are afraid that Ireland is too small, it
Mhm.
is there for you. But
Mhm.
I think that is quite similar to what our listener was asking and kind of what you were saying there about curating your feed and feeling this pressure to
Mm.
look this way. But with the rise of GLP-1s, they're kind of going back on themselves a small bit.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly it, isn't it? That's the snapback, really.
I don't think you're alone in thinking this either.
Mm.
There's an influencer I follow, can't remember her name, Michelle something, but she's very body positivity, and she actually said something really similar on her Instagram recently. She was like, I curated my feed to not have this, and every single person I know is now going on Ozempic. And honestly, like I've
Oh
seen
God.
it in real life as well. Like,
Have you?
yeah. Oh, I think you'd be surprised at
Yeah.
how many people are on it. Maybe it's a bit more prevalent over here in London as opposed to Ireland, maybe.
I don't, well, maybe, yeah, maybe. But also, I mean, if you're, you know, in presenting and stuff, I'm sure that the industry that you work in is might have a bit more.
Yeah, definitely. Like, so there was two people I was speaking with at this, at a press night, and one of them is very open about being on Ozempic. I remember when I bumped into them after not seeing them for
Mm,
a month, and they were half the size. Oh, I was like, oh, hey, how are you? Looking fab, blah blah. And immediately they were like,
yeah.
oh, I'm on Ozempic. I presume they took my, oh, hey, you look great, as in to be
Yeah.
lost weight. Whereas I was more so saying they were dressing really cool, like they were making more of an effort in the way that they looked. Like their
Okay.
hair was really nice, they were styled really cool, and I was like,
Yeah.
deadly. But I wonder, like that could have been a confidence from losing the weight. Maybe they felt like they couldn't dress a certain way. I don't really know. And then I was chatting with them and someone else at this press night, and they were talking about Ozempic and this other person, who was a little bit bigger, but they're not they weren't about body positivity. They're just they're who they are. You know, you don't need to
Yeah.
have, like, your body doesn't have to say anything for you. If you're bigger, you don't have to be
Yeah.
body positivity. If you're small, you don't have to be like gym rat. You can just be your personality. That's
Yeah. You could just be in your body.
yeah, you can just be you and your body. That's totally okay. But
Yeah.
as we were kind of chatting, they were kind of like, yeah, no, it's not something that I really thought I'd do, but I'm probably gonna go get a prescription for it now soon.
Wow.
Yeah, and they just seem really
Wow.
sad.
Oh no.
Yeah, and both it's like different genders here as well across the gender spectrum.
Okay.
So it's not just a male or female thing, as we can tell from our listener email there as well. It says one of the girls is on it, and then a guy in the office. Like I think this is prevalent across everyone. I think we're definitely caring a
Yeah.
lot more about what we look now than maybe we always do, but in a bit of a different way, perhaps.
Yeah. But also, like, so you were saying, you're seeing it in real life. Um, I would imagine that maybe it's a bit of a thing now, like the likes of Ozempic, GLP-1s are a bit of a thing now, the way Botox was, say maybe 10, 15 years ago. Whereas, nowadays people just like casually drop that they're like they need to get their Botox done. Whereas that probably wasn't the case. And I know we were young. We were younger 15 years ago. So maybe we just weren't included in the conversations. But I kind of imagine that it has become more accepted as a to kind of a typical routine thing that lots of people do. And I think I wonder, maybe, are we at the start of that with GLP-1s, where people are kind of are on them or want to be on them, but aren't really talking about it?
Well, then I wonder, definitely, sorry, definitely, I think want to be on them and don't really want to talk about it. I definitely think that is a thing. Like, honestly, listener, hard relate when after that conversation with those people at that night, and then all the bombarding that I'm getting for lead up to your wedding, like lose this weight, do this, do that.
Yeah, Jesus.
Obviously, like I did look into it. Full disclaimer. I was like,
Did
oh,
you?
what is this a thing? Like, what does it even mean if you go on it? Can you go on it for a month and then come off it? Like,
Yeah.
just drop a little bit of fat and then move on? But that's not the case. You have to get a prescription. You have to be your BMI has to be a certain weight, and it's a very long process. You're not on it then off it. It is.
For now. Like,
This is
what can
honest.
happen?
Maybe honestly,
And
maybe.
what was the thing that it didn't a load of it? Well, yeah, I remember. Did you send it to me? Manjaro, is that what it's called? Because when you said that to me, I was like, hash? Is that weed? Ganja?
That the Mounjaro got stolen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was this case, I'm pretty sure it's in the States, but about $1 million worth of Mounjaro got
Which
stolen.
is what? Which
with
is a
GLP-1.
brand of GLP-1s, is it?
So there's Ozempic and Mounjaro. Those are the two most
Okay.
popular GLP-1s out at the moment.
Yeah.
Like your different like Pfizer and that other one for our COVID vaccines. These are just there's loads of COVID vaccines, but these are the two kind of
Yes.
ones in the lead, your Ozempic and your Mounjaro.
Gotcha.
And a whole bunch of the ones in Mounjaro went missing and they can't find it. They haven't recovered it. So,
Went missing or were stolen?
oh, sorry, we're stolen.
Like,
So the theory is that drug
was it
dealers
jacked?
are now selling them because if you can't get your prescription and it is expensive, why not buy a month's supply of Manjaro off the guy who normally supplies your weed? Like,
Yeah.
you trust him.
Ooh.
He's a good guy. He's been a good
Yes.
source this entire time. He's saying, you know what? I love that you're branching out into pharmaceuticals. Let me support your small
Yeah. Just make sure it's not cut with something to make it last longer. Yee. Like,
business. True. But yeah, so I think it is like, and to the listener, I said, I think it's so normal to look into it. Of course, if you don't know anything about it, you're going to want to look into
mm.
it, or you might feel guilty for even thinking about looking into it. I think there's one of two
Oh
options
yeah.
at the moment. Either thinking, that's awful. Why would you even do that to your body? You shouldn't be doing that. That's societal pressure. And you discount it and you don't even want to hear anything about it, probably from an insecurity. Or you're like, oh, okay, I'll have a little look into it and maybe form a bit more of an opinion.
Yeah.
Also from an insecurity.
Sorry, so true. There's quite like, there are like severe camps, if or there are people with very there are people that think, one way or another that it's a terrible thing. And then there are other people that think that it's great, obviously. Oh, but also, sorry, we should say to our listener, we cannot give you any medical advice. We
We
are
are not
not
a medical
medical
podcast.
professionals. Do consult with your doctor with a do consult with a medical professional.
We're not doctors. Don't take anything that we say as serious because it's not.
Yeah, we're just having the chats.
But look, if you want to go on it, that is your prerogative. You are so
Yeah,
well within your rights to go on it if you want to. Um, is it the teenage voice in your head telling you to go on it? Probably,
probably.
probably.
Yeah.
Do you have like, are you struggling with your weight? Is it impacting, again, this is why you consult a medical professional. Is it
Mm.
impacting your health? Um, do you need help? If so, consult your doctor and see, is it in your head? Are you like maybe you have do you just not have abs? If that's what it is, like
Nobody has abs.
we
I don't either.
have abs, but we have a little
Yeah.
reason for our abs. But it's a lot of it's probably in your head.
Yeah, yeah. And also, if you were to go on it, what would the other health implications be?
Mm.
I don't think it's super straightforward. Like to your point, Circa, like you can't just go on it for a month and then come off it. Um, what would it mean for the rest of your body?
Mm. How long do you even have to be on it for? Is it like a is it an oh, it probably depends on your size, but how do you get to come off it? And then do you put the weight back
I
on?
have
'Cause I
no
was
idea.
speaking with someone who it's their sister that's on it, and
Hmm.
they lost loads of weight. They came off it and they put it all back on.
Oh,
That's
really?
really bad for your body. That's not okay.
I mean, it's just, yeah, I honestly, I don't understand. I don't know enough. I don't know anything about it. I'd say that it's a lot more prevalent than I realize. I think I often live in a little bubble and not realize what's going on. But I would imagine that it is more prevalent in real life than I'm aware of. And that there's probably people that I know who are on it and who maybe feel a little bit of shame about admitting it. Um, and if that's the case, like I don't think people should feel shame either.
Yeah.
But I do think it's definitely the fact that we've seen all these celebrities suddenly drop weight and get this Ozempic face that it can have a bit of an allure. Not that Ozempic face looks good, in my opinion.
But it's that thing of being thin is it's heroin chic. It's being thin
Yeah.
is meant to be better. And it's that it's also
For
really
now.
but so this is it though. Like, is it going to be a thing where everyone is on Ozempic and then everyone is just really thin, but then there's going to be something else that's desired more if everybody's thin. Then
100%.
pendulum's going to swing in the other way. But then there's the other side of it. Is it going to be a wealth indicator? You know, I can afford to go on Ozempic, and you can't.
Yeah, it's always a wealth indicator. Like looking at beauty ideals through the ages, it's always a wealth indicator that becomes the beauty ideal, right?
Yeah.
Like before, like previously, it was the pale skin was what was wanted because it showed that you didn't have to work outside. Whereas then everything changes. Um, but I mean, even from the 90s, the early noughties, 2010s to 2020, we've seen it like drastically do a curve. Like in 2010s, it was all about curvy, and then yeah, it's just coming back around.
To be totally honest with you, though, the whole thing of it's about being curvy. It was never about. It was a certain type of curvy.
Yeah.
There's never a thing where that I've noticed anyway that is just loving your body in its natural form for its little jiggles. It's always, oh, they're a little bit bigger, but for somehow their waist is still flat. You know,
Mm,
they
yeah,
still look thin. Like maybe I don't. I actually there's like a couple people coming to mind that even there's an influencer I see that I'm like, oh, okay, she's not wafer thin. I love that. I think she's fab. But then in like little bikini photos, I'm like, how is her stomach so flat though? How come my stomach isn't that flat as
I
well?
know. It's so, yeah, it's like, oh, that's the thing about social media and celebrities and, paparazzi shots and or whatever, if photos that we see of famous people is just, oh, there's lighting, there's angles that makes everything look better, quote unquote, better. But no doubt, like this influencer who's not wafer thin does have jiggles and does have lumps and bumps.
As you
Um,
should. Your
but
human body, you should have jiggles. You should have
yeah,
cellulite. It's what's a part of your body.
uh,
Because one thing,
yeah,
so, to both our listeners, like I wonder what you think of, I know we're kind of talking about a lot of like what's going on Instagram, but what do you think of Ariana Grande? Have you seen all this being discussed in the media?
yes. Oh my God, yeah, and yeah, I do agree with the point that if okay, so she's a woman in her body, living her life in her body,
Mhm.
and we don't know what's going on in her life, in her private life, if she hasn't addressed her body. I understand the point that maybe we should leave her alone or leave it out.
Yeah.
However, the fact that she's on tour and she is putting herself in the spotlight purposefully, that then it becomes open season to have a conversation about her body.
So if you haven't seen this, basically Ariana Grande, kind of from Wicked, I think that's maybe where it kind of began,
Mm,
that people were commenting that she has lost a lot of weight and that she's quite thin. And I think the interesting thing is with her is that we've seen her grow up. You know, we first saw her on Victorious and Salmon Cat. So she's always been thin, but she's never been as thin as she might be at this point. And
yeah.
the kind of discussion at the moment is, do we have the right to comment on her body? Do we, or should we be commenting on her body? Is she too unwell to be working and we're just soaking it up and letting it happen? And is that a disservice to people who are looking at her thinking that is the ideal when maybe
Mm,
don't know? And this is all like conversations within the media. As Eva said, she hasn't come out and said a single thing about her body, but is she underweight and needs help and we're just kind of watching it?
Yeah, because it's the New York Times article, right, that kind of sparked this debate. And in the New York Times article, they referenced Karen Carpenter from The Carpenters.
Yeah.
And so she died of heart complications caused by her anorexia. And, you know, it's because when it comes to celebrities and celebrity bodies and how they are put on a pedestal and they are praised, even without the words, like and sorry, I'm jumbling all over the place in my head, but even without any words describing Ariana Grande's body, there are little girls and little boys and teenagers and young women and young men looking at her and think because she's on tour and because she's on stage and thinking she's the coolest thing in the whole world. She is the most amazing person in the whole world, and I want to be just like her in every single way. And that's the danger, I think, when we
Mhm.
don't say anything about someone's body when it seems that they are in trouble.
Yeah. And I think this is prevalent all across time, as in, maybe we said too much in the days of Britney Spears. And like as she says in Piece of Me, I'm too big now, I'm too thin. Um,
Yeah.
this is a thing across it, and now maybe we're being silent about it because we've learned from those consequences. But have we learned from those consequences if we're not looking after people's health? I do think that's kind of the industry across the board, though. People are always going to make money when they can make money, but
Yeah.
bring it back to our lovely listeners, especially the second one who's asking about should they go on Ozempic. Again, we're not a medical podcast. We cannot advise
Yeah.
you anything like that. I would say to
Shocker.
people, go, ah,
This isn't a medical podcast. What?
crazy. I know. You're so disappointed. Um, but go back and maybe seek a medical professional there. But a lot
Yeah.
of it is probably that teenage voice. If you want to seek medical advice,
Yeah.
seek medical advice. Don't be just jumping on anything because you think it's the right thing to do. Because at
Mm.
the end of the day,
Because yeah, do you know
everything
what? Because
is just, sorry, I'll just finish that thought. Because
sorry.
everything we're seeing is just bombarding us with be thin, be thin, be thin, be thin, be thin. And for both of our listeners, that
Mm.
is probably what you're being attacked with. That doesn't mean it's true or good.
So true. So true. Yeah, because I mean, you definitely speak to a doctor because, your doctor might say you absolutely would never be a candidate to go on Ozempic and it would actually be very dangerous for your health, would tell you all the dangers of going on it, what it would do to your body. And then, it might refer you to therapy. Because, that's genuinely, and I don't say that with like any kind of, it's supposing to sound like malicious or condescending at all. Therapy is great for all of us. We should all be going to therapy and seeking help because of stuff like this, because we are being bombarded with these crazy ideals of of what we should look like, how we should act, all of the things we should be achieving. And it doesn't mean that it's right, and it doesn't mean that it's good, to borrow a line from Circa.
I mean, the Lord is shite. So, listener number two, seek medical advice and talk to your if you know one the girl's on it for sure. Talk to them about it. Talk to your other friend. Like as we said for our first listener too, talking about this sort of stuff with your friends helps with
Yeah.
your or with anyone. I know people do, as we said, people have really strong opinions. Like with the whole with those Empic and GLP-1s. Tim has such a strong opinion on that. He's like do not go on that. And he's like, that's so, like, you do not need to go on it. To go back,
Mm.
when I was kind of toying around with, like, oh, have a look into it. And it wasn't great, I'll look into it. It was like, yeah, oh, yeah, I'll look into it. That's a new thing that's on the market. He was like, if
Yeah.
on that, I genuinely would be so cross. It's just going to do nothing but negatively impact your mental health. He has such a strong opinion on it. But then that can be
Yeah.
dangerous too, because, like, okay, you don't want to go on it, so I'll go on it in secret. So,
Right. Yeah. You don't want to shut someone's conversation down. I suppose to our second listener, our anonymous listener, they put it through the form anonymously for a reason. It's hard to talk about this kind of stuff. It is. There you go.
it's hard. Good luck.
It is. But guaranteed that other people want to talk about it as well.
1,000%. 1,000%. They're just waiting for someone to be brave enough to do it first. But what
Yeah.
For our first sister who said she didn't want any advice, but about postpartum bodies or even like pregnant bodies, is there any words of wisdom you'd like to close out with?
That I'd like to close out with. No, you're so right. But like people, it's not discussed because it's a short little phase of life that, you move past, I suppose. But you're forever postpartum and your body forever changes. So it is difficult. It's difficult to get used to your new body. But yeah, I suppose I don't have any advice for you at all because you didn't ask for it.
Didn't
So,
want advice.
but I solidarity for sure. And yeah, sorry, exactly to what Sergio was saying. I felt so strange in my pregnant body both times because your body changes and you have this funny little belly. And of course, anytime I've seen a pregnant person, I just think, you look gorgeous and you look amazing, but it's a different body you have to dress for. And then all of a sudden, you look different. Obviously, you're growing a human inside your belly, and obviously, you have a belly. It all sounds so ridiculous and obvious when you say it, but when you're in it, when you're living it, it's so strange. I remember crying, not knowing or not feeling good in what I was wearing at all points throughout my pregnancy. I remember thinking, oh, just when my bump gets big enough, then I'll feel better. And then your bump gets bigger, and then you're like, Jesus Christ, it's huge, Like, ugh, having a body and having a body is hard.
Having a
Yes.
body's hard. Thank you and good night.
So no advice, just lots of solidarity.
Yeah, that's actually all you can do with this sort of stuff.
Yeah. But we have been chatting for over an hour, so I must go collect my kids.
We've
So I'll
been.
call you back.
How long do you think this podcast is actually going to be? Maybe you're looking at it being like, oh, you're only speaking for 45 minutes. No, no.
Chop, chop, chop at the edit.
Chip, chip, chip.
Okay, make sure you're liking and subscribing on everything. Do comment underneath and tell us your thoughts. And if you want to get in touch, we are on all social media pages. Let me ask my sister pod, or our email, letmeaskmysisterpod@gmail.com.
Exactly what she said. Bye.
Yo!